Greetings! I present the Rakin Systems 3D production module. Trigger VC Studio LITE. Today I'll show you an interface of a trigger function. There are two types of triggers in the application, a simple one that allows full-screen media display and an advanced one. The advanced mode has been prepared to allow you to program in an easy way a list of functions available in the application. After pressing a single button, it is possible to perform one function after another. This episode will be dedicated to advanced triggers concerning the use of virtual shots. The production LITE module has 4 VCs. To each of them, separate files from the same studio but displaying different camera shots are loaded. I choose VC1 on the preview mixer. Below, a view of the shots has appeared. I will load a new file from the disk with Import Studio button. Now VC1 shows a different studio than the rest. We can load 4 different studios, a different one to each VC. We can make a transition to a different studio using a T-bar. A second approach to video production is to load files from the same studio to the VCs. Each of the files will represent a different camera shot. With the use of a trigger, we can automatically load files to VCs. We open Menu, Options and Configuration. A configuration window opens with 10 trigger buttons. I choose the first one, F1. From a list on the right, I choose the Advanced mode. An empty list appears to which we can add the application's functions one by one. With Add button, I choose Import Studio function. On the right side, we can find parameters of a given function's settings. The first setting is a VC selection. Below, we open a window using a button with 3 dots. We choose a file we want to load from the disk. I choose Studio E and A close-up shot. This way, I set a path to the file. I will repeat the operation for the remaining VCs. I add another function and set VC2. I load the same studio but with a different shot. Studio E and B medium shot. A view of the selected shot appears on the right side of the window. I will add a third function for VC3 to the list. I choose Studio E and C close-up shot. I repeat this for VC4, choosing Studio E file and D extreme close-up shot. As the name implies, it is a close shot of a talent's figure. This way, the list shows 4 functions whose task is to load new files from the disk to the VCs. We call upon the trigger by pressing F1 key. Files loading progress bar appears. We can preview these shots in the production window. Camera's angle and distance from the talent have changed. Now we have to set sources for each VC separately. I choose VC1 on the preview mixer. A source depicting a figure of a talent behind a desk is controlled with Mixer A. A picture from Still 1 input buffer is currently selected on this mixer. We can change this source manually. Ultimately, I want to show a view from camera 1. I enable simple chroma key. I choose a background color with a picker. I turn alpha matte on and set the key's parameters. I will cut away unnecessary elements, leaving only a view of a talent. I turn the matte off. By selecting a button on the preview mixer, I will now go to VC2. The view shows the same shot of the figure behind the desk but from a different angle. Therefore, the same view from camera 1 should be set on Mixer A. We have already set the key for camera 1 earlier. For the display screen on the wall, I will choose Mixer B, the same Media 1 video. Now I will set VC3. It is a different place in the studio. Therefore, we cannot set the same figure as before. I suggest choosing a view from camera 4. A button with gears for mixer A is grayed out. This means a source behind the desk has been set with a different mixer. This time I set camera 4 with mixer C. And with mixer D we set a content on the display screen on the wall. A key for camera 4 is yet to be set. I choose a simple mode. I select a background color. I will set a view on the alpha matte and parameters of the key. I cut away unnecessary view elements with a garbage mask. I disabled matte. The display screen on the wall can display the same video, media 1 or a different one, for example media 2. All that is left is setting VC4 and the proper sources for ABCD mixer. That is the same view of a shot as VC3's. Only the figure's distance from the camera has changed. Therefore, I set camera 4 for C and media 2 for D. The sources for each of the VCs have been set correctly. We can start working live. During the production, I would like to display a different video on the display screen for VC1. I can do it manually by switching the preview mixer to VC1 and setting mixer B to an appropriate button, and the same for VC2. During the production, it is faster to use a single trigger key. We open menu Options and Configuration. I choose F2 button. On the right side, I choose the Advanced mode. I choose VC Set Bus Source function. I want to change the state of mixer B, so I choose VC Set Bus B Source function. From the parameters list, I select an appropriate button, VC1. I want to change media 1 button to media 2. I will close the window and demonstrate how the trigger operates using F2 key. Mixer B's state has changed and a video on the display screen has been replaced in this shot. Having the sources properly set up, we can execute a virtual camera's movement. A placement function is used for this. I select VC1 shot on the preview mixer. Below the windows, a camera movement settings window will be displayed. We can save 4 cameras' positions in each VC separately. The view is switched after pressing the left mouse button on the image. I will make an immediate transition with a right click. A position of the camera can be modified. We select a view and press Placement button. In a new window, I change the camera's zoom with a control. Using a joystick, we set pan and tilt, that is left, right and up-down movement. I close the window by pressing Close. We have changed a virtual movement between the camera's first and second phase. I can execute a transition between the phases with a trigger. I select the first phase. I open Menu, Options and Configuration. I will work on F3 key in the Advanced mode. I will add a function that will ensure a smooth motion, not an immediate transition. It is Autoplay function. I set VC1 as a parameter and I check Autoplay option below, which enables it. As a second one, I will add to the list a function that sets a transition time between the phases. It is VC Set Speed. On the right, I set VC1 and a transition time in seconds or frames for the system's video format. For example, 4 seconds. The last function sets an appropriate phase of the camera. It is VC Set Phase. I choose VC1 and the second phase. I close the window. When autoplay is disabled, also the left mouse button sets an instant transition. I will now execute F3 trigger. autoplay button has been selected. A time control field's value has changed to 4 seconds. A transition to phase 2 has taken place. By setting these 3 functions, we have ensured that there will be a smooth transition of the proposed duration. Similarly, we can make an immediate transition. All we need to do is disable autoplay function, unchecking its option. I will select phase 1 and demonstrate the trigger's execution. The autoplay button has been deselected, and despite the set time, an immediate transition to the second phase has taken place. Typically, a producer sets separate transition settings for each trigger key, so they don't have to set the parameters manually. Thank you.
Wrecking. Keen on record.